Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us to share a little bit about our passion with all of you. And our passion very much is this incredibly special place, which is called Caye Chapel, a private island off the coast of Belize. I'm joined here tonight with my colleague of almost 20 years, Dane Rasmussen, managing director and head of sales for Caye Chapel. My name is Christian Tiraldo. I'm the president of the development, and we're absolutely thrilled to have you all join us tonight in this format. As a reminder, tonight we'll be joining you virtually, of course. If you do have questions, please feel free to hit us with an email. You'll see it at the bottom, dane@cayechapel.com. That's the best way for us to be able to field questions. We'll be fielding those questions, in fact, digitally as well, and be responding to you directly. Tonight's presentation is mostly about education and, again, sharing our passion with all of you. Dane.
All right. Well, we're going to kick this off with you, CT. You're going to give us a little bit of background about the island itself and what we're constructing. So thanks for getting us kicked off tonight.
Caye Chapel is arguably one of the most magical places on the planet, and every magical place has a magical story. Caye Chapel, interestingly, was a coconut plantation, which was owned by the first millionaire of African descent from Caye Chapel, highly successful individual, Belizean, that supplied coconuts throughout the entire region. His name was Isaiah Mortimer. Interestingly, as well, one of my favorite books of all time as a young person was a book called The Key by Theodore Taylor. The main character was actually played by James Earl Jones in the 1974 adaptation of this book for the actual movie The Key. So a very special sort of cinematog. Obviously, I can't get that word tonight, but obviously one of the most special places for this film, which featured James Earl Jones. Finally, it was owned by a billionaire, a guy by the name of Larry Addington out of Kentucky. He actually bought the island for himself, which he owned and operated until 2012. Soon thereafter, we actually purchased the island a couple of years ago with our own unique vision for the island, our own very special, magical place to create our own story. And tonight, we're here to share that with you. First and foremost, Caye Chapel is indeed a private island. It's one of the things that makes it so very, very special. It's 280 acres of absolute pristine shoreline. We are bordered by arguably one of the most beautiful barrier reefs on the planet, second only to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and that's just about a half a mile off the east coast of our island. Caye Chapel is this amazingly beautiful place where the water changes color as the sun moves from east to west every single day. We're building a destination. And that destination at its very core, at its very center, is a private club. It's a private members club. We'll have 110 home sites on the island. We will have a golf course, which we'll share with you some details on in a few minutes, that will be designed by Greg Norman. Just so happens that we also are building a Four Seasons hotel with 104 different keys. You'll see that as Dane is showing you right now on the north end of the island, 104 of those keys, 18 of which will actually be overwater bungalows, the only type of hotel of this quality, of this caliber, and of this design in this hemisphere. Nothing actually compares. In addition to that, we'll have 24 branded residences, which will be branded Four Seasons residences. Those are for sale. We've sold just over half of those, and Dane is going to share with you a little bit more of the details on those residences later in tonight's presentation. The Greg Norman Golf Course is going to be absolutely spectacular. We'll be sharing with you a separate video on Greg and his vision for the island and how the holes will be played. Almost all of them will be oceanfront, of course, or ocean view on our island. Dane, if you take me to the next slide, I'll share with you a little bit about some of the beach clubs that we're building on the island. As an owner on the island, you'll have access to several beach clubs. There will be two very special beach clubs that will be part, of course, of the Four Seasons Hotel as certain amenities for that hotel. But in addition to that, as members of the Caye Chapel Golf and Ocean Club, we'll have a spectacular several thousand square foot club members only beachfront clubhouse that will also have kids activities, waterfront sport activities, and also a spa. So the amenities that we're building on the island are quite special. what you're seeing right now is actually the spa at the Four Seasons. Every single member of the Caye Chapel Club will be able to have access to this spa at the Four Seasons and be treated just like a guest of the spa. It is a cenote inspired spa, so we're actually quite thrilled with the architecture. We think it's going to be really spectacular in the way that it's laid out and how the treatment rooms work. Dane, if you could take me to the next one, you'll see an image of the marina that we're building. A lot of this marina was actually in existence when we bought the island a couple of years ago. We're reimagining it to make it a very, very special place. We'll have our own diving experience center on the island, which will be part of the marina. Our main entry for the hotel, when you're coming to experience the hotel or coming as a member to experience what life is like on the island or as a member yourself, will actually be at the main entry point, that sort of bungalow that you see at the back on the sort of east side of the marina there, where you see some of the sailboats, will be the main entry point. When you arrive, Dane will take you through this a little bit. You'll be able to arrive by boat, by plane on our private airstrip, and Dane will mention that in a second. And of course, we'll very likely also have some pretty spectacular seaplanes that will be able to land right in front of our island, and then sort of move right into our harbor.
Right.
One thing that I thought I would just quickly mention, and I know Dane is excited to take you through some of the features that I just mentioned. The other thing that's so unique and special about our island is that it will be part of a broader international club membership, which is being built by a brand new, very exciting company called Life Properties International, LPI. And membership as a Caye Chapel Golf and Ocean Club member will afford you some privileges at some other very special clubs that we are also building around the world. So we're excited to share that with you as well. Dane, I'll leave it to you.
Awesome. Well, great. So you were speaking a little bit about how to get to the island, and eventually we will get those seaplanes set up, which will be an amazing way to land right as you enter into the marina on the west side of the island. But in terms of getting to the island, many people don't realize how easy it is to get to Belize. It's on the southern tip of the Yucatan Peninsula, so you can get there almost by 15 direct flights from U.S. cities here. You can see even places on the West Coast. I was just looking up the other day, and you can get from L.A. to Belize faster than you can get from L.A. to Hawaii, which I think would be surprising to many people. It's about the same distance, about 4 hours and 45 minutes to get from LA to Belize City. Same from even New York. So even those destinations that seem to be pretty far away, you can get there very easily. Some of these destinations have one a week flights. Some of them have multiple week of flights. And then Dallas, Houston, Miami all have direct daily nonstop flights to the island. So and Atlanta as well. So easy to get to from a lot of different places here in the United States. When you land in Belize City, this is actually where we take over, and we want to make sure that if you do come down and experience the island, we'll hold your hand through the entire experience all the way. You're actually greeted by somebody from our staff there at the airport. We'll charter a flight. It's only a 7-minute flight from the mainland to Belize City over to Caye Chapel. It's one of the closest little keys off the coast of the island. As Christian was mentioning before, it sits right on the edge of this reef, and there's amazing diving and scuba all around there. Even if you'd like, we can actually have the plane go and fly over the Great Blue Hole. It's a very well-known tourist site to see in the area. It's absolutely gorgeous. As Christian mentioned, the water turns colors based on the time of day. It turns from a sort of a deep blue to a light green throughout the day, and it's absolutely stunning. So if you choose to not want to fly over to the island, we actually can pick you up with one of our boats. It's only about a 20-minute boat ride over to the island as well. So it's super easy to get to. It's faster to get to Caye Chapel than it is if you're going to fly into any other major beach destination to get to the resort. Super close to Belize City and super safe, and we'll make sure that we take good care of you if you come down and visit. So I'll pass it back to you, Christian. Tell us a little bit about what we're doing in terms of the construction and the development timeline.
Thanks, Dane. We're making incredible progress on our construction on the island right now. When you think about the things that we're building, think about it really in 3 different buckets. The first is the hotel and the private residences. The second really are the amenities for the hotel and the private residences. So think spa and common areas. And then the third is what I would describe as the club membership amenities and the club membership access areas and platform. That would include the golf course, and that would include the club members clubhouse, and a variety of the different other food and beverage outlets that are going to be located on the island. This image that you're seeing right now gives you a bit of a snapshot from the east side of the island looking west of some of the 3-bedroom Four Seasons private residences that we're building. As you can see, the steel framing has gone up, and in some future photos we'll actually be showing you where the roofing is going on in some of those residences. You can see a lot of the pads, and in some cases a lot of the steel framing for a lot of the hotel rooms. All of those hotel rooms, in fact, are all beachfront, just like the private residences are. So we're making a tremendous amount of progress on construction of the hotel. The anticipated timing for the hotel and the private residences to be complete and to be opened is the end of December 2025. So order of magnitude about 18 months or so from now. What you're looking at here, the three actually 4 crystal pools that you're seeing in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. This is the main sort of lobby, or the main entrance area for the Four Seasons Hotel. On the right-hand side is the largest restaurant platform. On the left-hand side is one of the many beach clubs that we have on the island. And again, just sort of a snapshot of kind of the middle part of the island where the Four Seasons Resort is really starting. Obviously, this is a rendering of what the product will look like when it's finished, but nevertheless, really sends a very clear message about how special this property is going to be. Dane, if you could take it to the next slide, what you'll see here are some residences on the west side. These are also some 3-bedroom Four Seasons private residences. As you can see, the roofing is going up on some of these structures. Some of these have been reserved. Some of these have actually already been purchased. And Dane will take you through what we've sold and what we still have available here in a few minutes. This is a final rendering of a finished private residence. So again, this one is on the west side. Every single one of these residences are beautifully appointed, fully furnished. They have an absolute beachfront, toes in the sand, call it 30 meters maximum to toes in the sand from your kitchen. And of course, all of them have a private pool with direct ocean and reef views. So that's a little bit of a snapshot on what we're building. The Greg Norman Golf Course will open at about the same time. Keep in mind that we're going to have a sports complex. We're going to have a short course for golf as well, also designed by Greg. The sports complex will have a variety of different sports activities for the sports enthusiast, including all different types of racket sports, tennis, pickleball, and paddle as well. Obviously, we have this absolutely stunning marina. We'll be able to fit boats up to about 80 feet in our marina. And as I mentioned before, we'll have an incredible dive experience, some of the best diving on the planet, some of the best water sports on the planet, no matter what you like: wakeboarding, snorkeling, diving, e-foiling, sea bobbing. It's all really on your doorstep when you're a member of the Key Chapel Club and when you purchase at the Four Seasons private residences or at the private club on the island itself. Dane, take us to the next one.
Of course, yeah. So as Christian mentioned, the end of 2025 is actually when we're expecting for the first phase, the golf course and all of the original 24 residences to be completed and constructed, along with the Four Seasons Resort itself. So that's going to get here before you know it. Now would be a good time to come down and look at what we have available. As you'll see, this is a similar shot to what Christian was showing before. This is a Four Seasons residence looking sort of inward, a little bit more of an open design floor plan, 2 main bedrooms right up to the side, very traditional in terms of the way that this beach property is set up. And then just behind you is just crystal clear, amazing water if you looked just behind here. So in terms of what we currently have available of those original 24 units, you can see this is the very northern part of the island. That little that area to the bottom is actually the overwater bungalows. So you'll see sort of an orientation on the island itself. Those original 24 units are color coded. You'll see here the blue is 2-bedroom. That does mean that there is only one 2-bedroom left and available. So if the 2-bedroom is appealing to you, those are $4.5 million. The 3-bedroom are in yellow. Those are $5.5 million, and the green are the 4-bedrooms. There's only 3 of those left today, and those are $6.5 million. Everything else you see out of the original 24 is either sold. We do have a number of contracts that are pending in terms of these properties that we have for sale on that side of the development. So if you are interested in this type of ownership opportunity, I would highly recommend getting down sooner rather than later. When it comes to owning with the Four Seasons, there are some unique benefits. First of all, you actually can put your property back in the rental pool. So you have the opportunity to generate a positive income from the property itself. We also have unique relationship set up where there isn't property taxes when you purchase down on Caye Chapel at the moment. So now's a great time to get in at the right price. Once the Four Seasons opens, all of this inventory is going to increase in value, and it's going to become that much more valuable. If you're the type of person who likes to just build from scratch and have exactly what you want that you create from the ground up, that's something that we can work with you on. We have a number of estate lots where you can select the floor plans. We have a variety of general themes that you can choose from. This is one of the estate villas, a little bit more of a modern feel to it, but there's a variety of different sort of themes and styles that you can choose from, but we can custom design something with you, with our architecture team. It's about $1,000 a square foot to build. Lots start at around 3.5 million. If you wanted to buy your own oceanfront lot to go with, as Christian mentioned before, there are only about 100 lots on the island. All will be oceanfront property, so it'll be a magnificent place to own. It'll be something that your family will absolutely love coming down to time and time again. So why don't I pass this off to you, CT? Oh, before I do that, I do want to just show you here's some of the lots that we still have available for sale on the island. Definitely would love to have you come down and check it out and see what, if you want to hand select one, that'd be perfect for you. So why don't we pass it over to you, Christian, and bring us home a little bit about what that experience would be like to come down and check out the island.
Right. Thanks, Dan. A critical part of the process for evaluating purchasing, whether it's a private residence that's a Four Seasons branded residence or one of the lots that Dane just mentioned, is actually coming down to spend some time with us. We've invested in an experience village on our island, and that is a very, very special place that we have built. We have 4 absolute beachfront casitas. We have a dining palapa. We have several toys, some fantastic boats that are in our marina right now. We have an adventures team that takes our prospective buyers out on, frankly, anything they want to do. If you want to go diving in the Blue Hole, we arrange for it. If you want to go out onto the Hol Chan Reservoir and swim the reef, we can arrange for it. If you want to go water skiing or wakeboarding, we can arrange for it. Fishing, we can arrange for it. Some of the best fly fishing on the planet is literally on the east side of our island, and Dana's just sort of giving you a little bit of the snapshot of what our waters look like, literally just steps from your residence. Our experience village is a very, very special place. We have a Michelin star chef. Come down and you hang out with us for a couple of days, typically 2, maybe 3 nights. People come down and they share some time with us. It's entirely on us, and we have a full team that is staffed to service you. Right? I already mentioned the chef. We have a full butler team. We have a full concierge team. We have housekeeping team, of course. And we have a member services planning team that actually plans a curated specific trip just for you and your family to come down and experience the island. Of course, as you might imagine, these experiences are only for those individuals that are very seriously considering purchasing real estate with us on Caye Chapel and our very special private island, or those that are sort of advanced in the process and ready actually to select their lot or select the private residence that at the Four Seasons that they're going to be signing an offer on. So we're really, really excited to have you come down. Dane and our member services team actually have this fantastic, as I mentioned, onboarding call so that every single detail of your trip is actually planned by us. So we'd love to have you come down and join us, as Dane mentioned, for serious buyers, of course, only.
That's absolutely right. So again, we wanted to thank you for joining us this evening. One thing I do want to mention, we do only have 4 casitas on the island, as Christian mentioned. Very limited in terms of dates that will work. So I'd recommend, it's going to become more and more popular. We're really just booking out for the next 2 or 3 months right now. The sooner you let us know, the better, so that we can get the specific dates that work well for you. We'd love to have anybody that's seriously considering owning down on the island come check it out firsthand. You'll absolutely love getting a chance to see what we're going to build. So with that, I wanted to thank you again for joining us this evening. Hopefully it was informative. And Christian, any other final words that you want to mention?
We're just super, thanks, Dane. We're super grateful that you all tuned in with us with us this evening. If you're serious about taking a look at what we have to offer on this island, we would love to hear from you. So please feel free to reach out to Dane. Please feel free to reach out to me. We'll be publishing this as a recording as well. So if you'd like to review it with a significant other or with other members of your family, please do so. That way we can share a little bit more about our passion with you and your friends and family as well. So nothing but a big thank you to all that tuned in and that have an interest in our passion too. Thanks again.
Absolutely. We will send this recording out tomorrow for everybody that attended. So thank you again for your attention tonight, and have a great evening, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.